Gemini. I am hearing that you are dealing with a frenemy. Okay, this is somebody who is very manipulative, very emotionally immature, I would say. This is also somebody who's trying to make you or force you to ignore your intuition, ignore your boundaries, your own boundaries. This person is somebody who's overstepping your boundaries, trying to get you to ignore your own boundaries. It's like with this person, boundaries is non existent. They don't even understand the word boundaries. That's what I'm hearing. This is definitely a frenemy of yours. Spirit is saying to be careful with acting immature. Because when you're around somebody, their energy can rub off on you. This is why it's very important to be careful with who we hang around with. Be careful with who we are associating ourselves with, because this person can rub off on you, making you think that this is normal behavior, especially if you're around somebody for a while. I know personally when I'm around somebody who has an accent, and I'm not even Vietnamese, but I will start speaking English like as though I'm Vietnamese. So it's like, something like that, right? I mean, it could be the way that they talk, right? Because that's the first thing that's coming to my mind. But things that we are around, when we are around people, the things that they do, and we're around it so much that, or so often, that we will think that it becomes normal to us, right? That's what I'm getting. Now, I do feel like this person is like blocking you or trying to block you here. I do see a lack of inspiration, a lack of creativity, a lack of intuition, possibly trying to cause you a burnout or causing you to have fear. Okay, like a fear of expressing yourself, or a fear of telling this person, like, hey, don't just walk in my house, or don't just go through my things, because you're overstepping my boundaries here, something like that. Like this person could be trying to cause you a fear of standing up for yourself. Now, we are dealing with somebody here who could be a hoarder, okay? Because what we got here, somebody here might be a hoarder. You might be holding on to things that you don't need to be holding on to. You might be holding on to things that are no longer serving you here. And this could be actually a reaction to the people who you are surrounded by. People making you feel unstable, making you feel like things are unfair, or making you feel like, they could take something from you. So what happens when you're around thieves, right? When you're around thieves, let's just call it what it is, right? When you're around thieves, you feel like they could take whatever you have quickly, so it makes you want to like hold on to your things, right? This might be for just one of you, okay? This might be something that just one of you is going through. I'm also hearing here that it looks like somebody's very uncomfortable with seeing the truth about a situation here, you know. But this whole energy of holding on to things very tightly, specifically possessions and emotions, it's like somebody trying to take control here of a very unfair situation. Somebody feels like they're being like treated unfairly, or somebody around you is trying to avoid responsibility for what they're doing to you, and it makes you feel like it's unfair, and it's causing you to cling on to what you can control. It's like if you can't control your environment, I think we all do this. We all try to cling on to what we can control. Okay, and it looks like that's what's going on here. There seems to be some kind of consequences to truths that somebody, it could be you, could be another person, somebody is avoiding or trying not to deal with. Somebody doesn't want to deal with the truth of a situation. Could be also a very unhealthy attachment. Okay, like I said, a frenemy who you're attached to, who's causing a lot of chaos around you, that kind of energy. And then you having a hard time detaching from that person. This person could be a frenemy, could be a family, somebody in the family who's a frenemy of yours. Now, this could be something that has went on for way too long, I'm hearing, but we do have the devil and the eight of swords coming out right next to it. So it makes me feel like you are in the process of getting out of that energy, of breaking free from these ideas. Like you're breaking free from the way that these people have groomed you. Okay? Like, because that's what it is. Like, you've been groomed to just accept this kind of behavior from people. And this might be for one of you, or this could be a past reading for somebody here. But it's like a mental prison. Okay? Like, you've been in a mental prison, and now you're breaking out of that mental prison. You're realizing that these people have put limitations on your life, and these are like mental limitations on you that are not real, and you're finally like either growing out of this, like you're finally maturing enough to realize that these people are full of BS. Okay, and these self limitations that you've put on yourself are really from them, making you believe that this is the way it is, and you have to stay in this bubble. Have y'all seen that movie Boss? There's a movie called Boss. Melissa, I believe her last name is McCarthy. She's the one from Mike and Molly. She plays in it. Anyways, in the movie, she's an orphan and she becomes extremely successful. Okay, I'm not going to tell. If you haven't seen the movie, I'm not going to say any more about it. But I'm just going to say that part. She was an orphan, becomes very successful. If you think about it, Coco Chanel is another one who was an orphan and she became very successful. The thing is that when we have people, my theory is that the reason why they became successful is because they didn't have people who were really close to them, like family members, that were holding them down, telling them that they couldn't do something, or implying or making them believe that they couldn't do something. And this is why they became successful, because they didn't have somebody stepping there saying, oh no, you're a girl, you can't do these things, or oh no, you can't have this, or you can't have that, right? I think a lot of us, when we're raised in toxic families, we have this self limitations because we see other people around us, and we see, like for me, I'm a female, right? So I would see my aunts and sisters and cousins. If you're a male, you see your uncles, what I'm saying? You compare your life to the people around you, and their limitations end up becoming your limitations without you even realizing it. And it's just because you were raised in that environment to believe that if you're a boy, you can't become a nail tech, or you can't become a nurse, or you can't become whatever it is, right? Back in the 80s, male nurses were pretty rare because men thought that that was a female dominating field, and you just didn't do that. Even though a lot of nursing, like nursing homes, needed male orderlies, because of the physical demands, so they needed males. So it was pretty hard to get males to work in the nursing field, and it was because of this limitation. In that situation, it was from the society, right? Your limitation appears to be coming from a frenemy who could be a family member, okay, specifically. And it's like you're washing all of this away. You're finally breaking free. Some of you might have found yourself in such a toxic situation, or growing up in a very toxic environment to the point where you have become a hoarder. Now, there's a lot of reasons why people become a hoarder. One of them is from dealing with narcissists. Another one I would think of is, being around people who were abusive, mentally abusive, physically abusive. It's usually trauma triggered. Let's just put it that way. Trauma triggered. So if you're a hoarder, I know it's not going to help knowing this, but at least you'll have an idea of what's going on with you. Is that what you're doing is it's a trigger response from a very toxic situation. Okay? Now, this is not for all of you, okay? The whole thing about being a hoarder, this is not for all of you, and it's not intended to be for all of you. I'm talking to specifically maybe a handful of people. Now, the good news is, though, is that I see you breaking out of that energy, okay? I see you taking control back, taking your control back of your environment, even when it's yourself. Like you're breaking free from it, even when it's yourself that has been limiting you. Okay, keeping you prisoner. So first it was your environment, and then it was yourself. Somebody here was told some really bad things, growing up, like, oh, you can never do that, or you'll never amount to nothing, these kinds of things. And the thing about that is that when you grow up around people who are verbally abusive towards you, when we grow up, their voices tend to stick in our heads. Okay? So we end up telling ourselves what that person told us when we were little. You know what I mean? The good news is you're breaking out of this, whoever this was for you. Okay? Some of you, it could be an ex. An ex that put some ideas in your head. For another one of you, it could be a parent, could be a sibling, could be anybody, right? It's like you're breaking out of that, and it's you. I'm trying to get the words out. It's you replacing the toxicity in your life, right? So instead of the voice of that toxic person that came in your life and made you believe that you couldn't do something, you're replacing that with your own voice now. You're reprogramming your mind and your actions with what you want it to be. You're filling in those gaps that somebody else filled in for you when you were younger. And now it's like you're taking control by filling those gaps yourself. And this is where your strength comes in, because I see here that somebody here, and I believe it's more than one person, definitely, but somebody here definitely had the strength to leave a very toxic, very codependent relationship. Somebody here overcame everything that relationship did to them as an adult. It's like you had to go through that and go through that and reverse it and get away from that. And it's like going backwards, healing the cracks in your life. So it's like starting from this toxic relationship that you were in, and then keep going. It's like you found the recipe of how to fill the cracks in your life, right? And then you're moving backwards. So you're going from like your adulthood to your teenage years to your childhood, right? And you're going back, and it's like you're fixing, you're paving your own road, you're fixing your road, you're becoming the person you were always meant to be. You're becoming the person that you were supposed to be. It's just taking you longer to get there because of the challenges and the deception and the lies that you were around, and the instability and the toxicity that you've been around. It just has taken you so long to get to this point, but you are finally becoming the person you were always meant to be and supposed to be. You're finally working in that direction. I'm also seeing here that somebody here left a very toxic job environment. Like you completely quit your job. You wouldn't have been able to do that if you had not did the work from your past. Like you wouldn't have had the courage to get out of there, or even to have been able to recognize that you were in a toxic environment. See, because you were able to recognize a very dysfunctional work environment. Like, you were able to catch on and be like, all right, this is not working out for me. Like, in other words, if you were younger, your younger self, you would have just stayed in that job and continued this toxicity in your life, this dysfunction in your life. But the thing is that you've come so far now that, see, it's proof. You've come so far now that you are able to recognize the dysfunction. That's why you're able to get away from that environment. That shows that you have healed enough to where you're recognizing it, where before you wouldn't have been able to recognize it because you were more likely raised in such a toxic environment that you wouldn't have known any different. But you've come so far that you are able to recognize it, and from here on out, I'm hearing you will continuously recognize a bad situation. So from here on out, when you get into a very toxic relationship, work in a toxic environment, you're going to be able to like catch it quickly, get yourself out of there. No more. I'm hearing this is it. You're not going to be dealing with these kind of people anymore. You've been around these people more likely your whole life, and now from here on out, you're not going to deal with these kind of people ever again. You are washing the toxicity out of your life. And from here on out, if somebody doesn't appreciate you and you recognize it, and you're like, okay, this person does not they do not appreciate a dang thing I do for them. That's it. You're gonna see it. You're gonna be like, okay, this is toxic. This is an unfunctional relationship. This is an unfunctional dynamics in this relationship. It's not gonna work out. From here on out, I'm hearing your life is going to get so much better because you're going to be on top of it. You're going to catch the clues. You're going to catch the red flags. You're going to see everything that's going on. And not only that, but it looks like right here, like you're going to recover. So it's like, yes, you're going to accept the losses that you've gone through already, because you can't get your childhood back. You can't get your teenage years back. You're not going to be able to get those back. But it's like you're going to accept the losses here. Turn away from all the negativity in your life. And turn everything around to where everything around you is going to be about who and what is going to be fulfilling for you. Who and what is going to bring out the best in you. This is why your future is going to be bright. And it's not going to be because somebody gave it to you, or it's not going to be because of some kind of favor. It's not going to be because of any of these things. It's going to be because of you, Gemini. You putting your foot down. You doing the hard work. You're the one that is doing this. You're the one that is paving the way for your future. And guess what? Your future will be bright. It is going to be good. The lessons of yesterday is going to give you a brighter future. I'm going to go ahead and get you your angel numbers out. But that is what is going on here for you, Gemini. Spirit wants you to know, keep going. Keep going in the direction that you're going in. Because this is the path that you were meant to be in. What the heck happened? Let me do this again. This is the path that you were meant to be in. That's what I'm hearing. Let's get your angel numbers out real quick. Give us 2 numbers, angel numbers here for Gemini. 77 is coming out. 77. It says, your purpose flows from within you. And everything that you... Oh, see? Okay, your purpose flows from within you. And everything that is unfolding, exactly like everything here, or being revealed to you is part of your purpose. A state of peace and calmness in your soul. It says, I am in the flow. And that's exactly what is going on here with you, Gemini. You are in the flow. You're recognizing things. You're stepping up. You're taking accountability. We have number 16 coming out for you. It says you have an inquisitive mind that allows you to uncover important truths. That's exactly what you're doing. You're uncovering the important truths of your life here. It says you have a special ability to read into other people's feelings, a wisdom seeker, and your angels ask to share your knowledge for the benefit of others. I am perceptive. So do put that in the comment section because that's what you are. It says I am in the flow. So put that in the comment section. I am perceptive, right? This is what is going on in your life right now. So if you're there's another one. So if you're wondering what is going on with you, this is what's going on with you. You also have angel number 66. It says your guardian angel is teaching you the essence of unconditional love. You are encouraged to have faith that the universe will provide for you while you are manifesting your inner desires. I am positive. And I think this is what you're doing right now. You're in this process of bringing in all that positivity in your life and rejecting all the negativity in your life. That is what you're doing. That is why you're going to be very happy in the near future. It's you doing the shadow work. This is what you're doing. You're doing the shadow work. You're getting there. So whoever I'm talking to, you're getting there. You're manifesting this into your life. You are doing it. You should pat yourself on the back. You should go to Subway and get yourself a sandwich and reward yourself. I'm just saying, or whatever it is that you like, right? You should reward yourself because you have come a long, long way from where you've been, and you know what? You're not even halfway where you're going to be. So look around you, mark this spot, because I guarantee you in another month, 2 months, whenever it happens, you're going to look back and be like, wow, I can't believe I came this far. Because you're like right in the middle of this. All right. All right, guys, catch me in the next one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.